In this demonstration, I'll install the Hyper-V role using PowerShell. PowerShell is a great and convenient way to install any server roles or features from the command line. It's especially useful if we've got an installation of Windows Server Technical Preview 2 without the GUI. So we could either remotely or locally use PowerShell to install roles like the Hyper-V role. The first thing we'll do here in our PowerShell ISE environment is we'll execute the get-windows feature commandlet. We want to make sure that the Hyper-V components are not already installed. So I'll place my cursor on that line, and in the ISE toolbar at the top, I'll click the Run Selection button. Here we can see down below the Hyper-V role is not installed, nor are any of the management tools, including the Hyper-V PowerShell module. The next thing I'll do is I'll run the dism command line tool, and I'm going to get WIM info from the install.wim, which is on the installation media for Windows Server Technical Preview 2. So I'll make sure my cursor is on that line, and I'll run that selection. Here we can see it returns that there are 4 images stored within that single install.wim file. They're numbered as 1, 2, 3, and 4, where the 4th is the Server Data Center Edition. Now, even though it's labeled as Windows Server 2012 R2, it's really not. This is pre-release code. We're really working here with Windows Server 2016 Technical Preview 2. So I can use the install-windows feature PowerShell commandlet to install any role, in this case, the Hyper-V role. So I'm going to install the Hyper-V role. I'm going to install the Hyper-V tools, so I have my GUI management capabilities. I'll also install the Hyper-V PowerShell module. Here I've used a space and the backtick symbol because I want to wrap my line of code to the next line. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with -source, where I specify where the source files are from which I want to install this feature. Now, in the past, all of the possible server roles and features were installed on the hard disk in case you wanted them. But that's not the case anymore, and that's one of the reasons why Windows Server Technical Preview 2 is so much smaller and more efficient. So here I'm telling it I'm looking for a WIM file. Specifically, I'm going on drive D. Under sources, I'm referencing the install.wim file and specifically the 4th image there. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight both of those lines because I don't want to just execute a single line. It's really one command. And in the ISE at the top, I'll click Run Selection. And we can see that it will now begin to install the Hyper-V components that I've asked for. Now that the install-windows feature commandlet has completed, I have a message that says I must restart this server to finish the installation process. Over here on the right, if I look up the help for install-windows feature, I can learn a few things here, such as the fact that I could actually have installed the Hyper-V role on multiple servers at once, giving a comma-separated list of computer names. But I also have the option of using the restart flag to restart the server after the installation has completed. Otherwise, after the fact, I could type restart-computer to restart the system, or I could restart it in any other manner. Now that I've restarted our server and logged back in, we can verify whether or not the Hyper-V role has been installed. One way in PowerShell is to use get-windows feature, and I'll look for anything that's got the word hyper in it. This time, we can see in fact that the Hyper-V role has been installed along with the management tool and the PowerShell module. That also means that if we were to go to the graphical environment, we would see that our Hyper-V management tool is available, and here in PowerShell, our PowerShell module is available. We can verify that with get-module-list. Here I'll put in hyper. And indeed, we can see we've got our PowerShell module. And if I were to go to my Start menu and type in hyper-v, then we would see that we can also launch the Hyper-V GUI management tool. In this video, we learned how to install the Hyper-V role using PowerShell.